pillars of business financing. And these are super important because these will always put you in the best position to get into the programs your business needs to grow and to thrive. And a lot of people don't understand them. A lot of business owners neglect them. And then they wonder why they fall into different programs, or they can't get approved for an SBA loan, or they can't get the equipment financing they need. So what I want to do is lay out everything, lay out how to set them up, how to monitor them, and basically give you everything you need to put you in the best position to succeed. All right, so the 4 pillars of financing, and that's something that I've coined, are credit, time in business, cash flow, and profitability. All right, now we'll dig into each one of these. I'll explain how to track, how to monitor them, and ultimately how to put you in a position to thrive. So first, credit. When I say credit, I'm talking about business credit and personal credit. All right, your personal credit is always a determining factor, basically in like 99% of the programs that you're going to be looking at. SBA loans, equipment financing, lines of credit. Very rarely does your personal credit not get checked when you're operating a business. Okay, there are programs that I've worked with in the past that don't, but for the majority of them, and the best ones, they're going to check your personal credit. All right, so what does that mean? That means you want to have the highest credit score possible. Step 1, you want to monitor it. I don't care if you use Credit Karma or one of the credit cards, and you can basically monitor it. You want to monitor it for changes. Credit Karma is usually way off. There's a lot of different bureaus that report differently, and there's different models for each bureau. You just want to monitor any changes, okay? Ideally, you want to score above 720. For a line of credit, you really need at least 650 or better, okay? You don't want to be below 650, all right? That is a pretty big metric. Not that you can't get financing, but it's going to be more expensive financing if you're under 650 as opposed to over 650. So try and make sure that your credit is as strong as possible. Now, your business credit. Most people don't even know that there's business credit. All right, I'll explain to you how to check it and how to build it and the 5 fundability factors. So, business credit will help you grow and expand and kind of separate your business and personal credit, because you can get terms from vendors, suppliers, and the like, and that will help you grow and expand. Business credit, and it also comes into play, just so you know, with SBA loans, any type of large financing, and equipment financing. So it's very important that you have strong business credit. The way to check it is you go to Dun & Bradstreet and you check it there. A lot of times that information could be off if you didn't personally go and set it up. Before you set it up, you want to make sure you have the 5 fundability factors covered. I have a lot of videos on that. However, I'll explain them real quick. All right, 1, you need a business phone number, not a Google voice number. You need it registered to the business. Next, you need a business address, even if it's a home address. You need a business bank account. That's self-explanatory. Make sure you have a business bank account. And then once you have the business address, business phone number, business bank account, okay, you want to make sure that it's all listed. Oh, and a business email, right? Go to Gmail and get a domain and make sure it's, hey, Jonathan at Integrated Business Financing, as opposed to Jonathan Finances Businesses at Gmail, okay? Very important. And then you want all that listed. It could be a 1-page website. You could use phone sites. Listed on a 1-page website. Once all that is complete and done, that's when you want to put that information and get your Dun & Bradstreet number. Do not use NAV, because they're going to resell your information. All right, and then what you do is you go and you open trade lines, okay? As many trade lines as you can, and you utilize them and pay them off at the end of every month. All right, that's the key. I prefer you watch the whole video, but that is a great start. So that's number 1, is credit. Next, time in business. All right, the longer you've been in business, the less risky you are to lend to. Okay, if you're in business under a year, it's a lot more challenging to get financing. Once you've been in business a year to 2 years, there's certain things that you can get, such as like, a line of credit, working capital, and like a term loan. If you've been in business 2+ years, everything opens up to you, And when you've been in business 5+ years, that shows a lot of stability, and it shows that you're less risky to lend to, which is where you want to be. All right. The reason I mentioned time in business, one, it's important, and two, I don't want you to reset your time in business by switching an entity. All right. If it's unavoidable, it's unavoidable. If you can position it where you don't have to, and maybe, or at least if you have to do it, keep in mind you want to be able to prove that you are the same business. Maybe you just change names. You do it through tax returns, through old filings. That's very important. Next, cash flow. Cash flow is very, very important. I'm going to tell you what they're looking at. They're looking at how much you're depositing, total revenue going into your business bank account every month. They're going to look at how consistent it is. Is it going up? Is it going down? Is it up and down, up and down? Okay? They want to see steady or increasing. Next, they're going to look at the number of deposits you have. The more deposits you have, the more clients you have, the less risky you are to lend to. All right? If you have, the benchmark usually is around 8 to 10. Next, they're going to look at how much money you keep in the bank at all times. I recommend keeping at least 5 to 10% in your operating account at all times. And when I say 5 to 10%, I mean 5 to 10% of what your monthly average is in sales. So if you're doing $10,000 a month, keep $1,000 in there. If you're doing $100,000 a month, make sure you're keeping between 5 and 10,000 at a minimum. Okay? They don't want to see any negative days in there. That shows that there could be some cash flow concerns. All right? These are all very important factors when you go to apply for financing. Next, okay, let's get past cash flow and into profitability. When you are running a profitable business, okay, it is much easier for you to secure funds. It's much easier for you to get an SBA loan. It's much easier for you to get large amounts of financing. All right, so I know a lot of people want to write it down to zero so you don't pay taxes. However, it's always a better practice to show some level of profitability. As a general rule of thumb, for every $45,000 in profit that you do, you can basically get $350,000 over 10 years from the SBA, give or take. All right, so if you know you're going to be saving up to buy a building, right, or you know you want to buy a business, and that business will cost $700, you can plan in advance and know that, hey, I got to claim $90,000 in profit for the next 2 years on my business tax returns. All right, these are all the keys and what I call the 4 pillars of business financing. Always monitor them, always try to keep them as strong as possible to put your business in the best position to succeed. Thank you.